everyone, it's John from What Up, and welcome back to another video. Now, the Wheel of Time content just keeps coming. We've had a couple of teasers over the last couple of days, as you've seen in my last few videos. Today, we had a GQ article drop with some brand new images that I want to go through in today's video, and the Wheel of Time Twitter account also posted another short teaser showcasing a few characters from the show, and then asking for people to display their cosplay, which I thought was phenomenally cool. I really did like that. So the focus of tonight's video is going to be on those brand new pictures in the GQ article and the few little tidbits that we got from it that were new. There wasn't a whole lot there, but I will say it's probably the very first article that I've read that I was impressed by. Now, before we get into the video, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Click the subscribe button and the notification bell. I put out a couple of videos per week, and they're all Wheel of Time on Prime centric. So if you don't want to miss any Wheel of Time news, you're going to have to be subscribed to the channel. All of that being said, spoiler warning, in this video we're going to talk about certain images that are from today's GQ article. So if you haven't read book 1 of Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time series, that's The Eye of the World, be forewarned, I'm going to ruin major plot points and character arcs from that book for you. Alright, all of that being said, let's get on to the video. Alright, so I've left a link to the GQ article down below in the description box if you folks want to go ahead and give that a read when the video is done. But before we get into it, there's a couple of things I want to mention here. The first thing is, well, you're probably wondering why I have a picture of this particular Waygate up here next to me. It's a still from the behind the scenes teaser that Amazon Prime put out a couple of days ago that I did a video on, and I have it up here. It has nothing to do with the GQ article or what we're going to talk about today, but I have it up here because the Wheel of Time Twitter account did a poll earlier today. Now, that poll was basically asking the fandom which GIF should be the official one for the fandom. There was two choices, the Ouroboros or the Waygate. Last I checked, the Ouroboros was winning by a very wide margin, with people like Rafe Judkins and Sarah Nakamura coming to basically champion its cause and tell people on Twitter to vote for it. So, of course, I naturally voted for the Waygate just to be difficult. And then I left a little comment down below that I said, well, they're both great. I think the actual official gift for the show should be a charging white boar on a field of green. If you don't know whose sigil that is, and yes, I said sigil right this time, you probably should go take a look at the wiki, or maybe just take a look at some of my tattoos. That's all you really need to know about that. Now, the article itself from GQ was written by Zach. He's a senior staff writer at GQ, and it was phenomenally written. It's the very first article I've read that was factual, accurate, and well written at the same time. I've read a bunch of them, from Entertainment Weekly to Hollywood Reporter to Deadline to Den of Geek, Empire Magazine, and they all got little things wrong here and there, whether it be bits about the story, bits about things in filming, things we already knew they kind of downplayed or got wrong. It's almost like they were working off the same script that they pulled from online somewhere and not any official notes from Amazon. This particular article, however, Zach was on set during the filming of the first episode in December 2019, and there's references to the actors and actresses on set and what they were doing, references to the show, references to the book series and people's relationship with it. It's a really very good article, and like I said earlier, although there's not a whole lot of new information in it, it's a really good read, so I've left a link to it down below. Now, we're going to get into the couple of pictures from this article that are brand new, and we're going to tear them apart a little bit here because they do give us a lot of really cool information. Alright, so we're going to go through 4 of these pictures from GQ. This first one is of the White Cloaks. Now, these White Cloaks, I've gotten a lot of hate in the fandom. Basically, the fandom's pretty much split. Half the people love the costumes, half the people hate the costumes. Very few people are in the middle. I'm sort of in the middle. I like the costumes personally. I think they're great. I don't know if I would have gone this way with the White Cloaks if I had to draw it out and stuff, but I'm not very artistic. I might have thought of something a little bit different. I will tell you what I love, though. I love the horses' helmets. I love that like face guard over them with sunburst around their eyes. I think it's a really good opposite to the Fade's bone helmets over their horses. I think if they're on screen, if they're fighting together, and they showcase the horses together, it'll look really dramatic and cool. I like the way those arm guards and left arm look. They're flashy, they're cool looking, they have the sunbursts on them, and I like the way that looks. I love the big, long white tabards and how they're folded, and the intricate belts and whatnot on them. I really like how it all looks. Does it scream Light Cloak to me? After I see it like this, yes. Is it a little bit different than I imagined? 100%. So let me know in the comments down below what you folks think about these particular costumes. Now, this photo, we're going to talk about a couple of different things. We have 2 named actors in here that have been cast in the show. The first one is Stuart Graham. He's in the foreground, silver beard and hair. He's playing Geoffrey Bornhold. Now, Geoffrey Bornhold is one of the Lords Captain Commander. Basically, he's one of the Council of the Anointed. And then off to the far right, we have Abdul Salas. He's playing Eamon Valda. Now, Eamon Valda is another Lord Captain. They're both in the Council of the Anointed, so they're both fairly high up in the White Cloak hierarchy. They're not quite as high up as the Lord Captain Commander Pedron Nile himself. However, they are on the Council of the Anointed, so they're both there. So this has to be an important thing because they're sending out 2 of the Council of the Anointed with some White Cloaks to do something. And this kind of looks like an honor guard of them around them. I don't think they're prepared for battle here. I think they're dressed more for show, although, let's face it, White Cloaks dress for show even when they go into battle because they're not very practical. I think it's a super cool picture, though. I did pick up on one of the details, and a few other people did too, and I want to show it to you now. I'm going to have to bring it up here, and it's this. So this is Imon Valda. What does he have in his belt? Those look to me like Aes Sedai rings. So I'm going to guess, and this is just a guess, but I'm going to guess the White Cloaks are a fair bit more dangerous than they are in the books, and they probably actually hunt Aes Sedai. Now, in the books themselves, yes, they talk about it. They'll kill one of the Tarvalon witches whenever they get a chance. However, it really doesn't happen that often. It's mentioned a few times, but they don't ever really seem like a threat. At least in my mind, whenever I read the books, the White Cloaks are sort of an afterthought for me. They don't seem dangerous. They're pompous. They're kind of silly. They're puffed up, and they might be dangerous to a few people or villages or towns together, but not to an Aes Sedai. This, with these particular trophies he has on his belt, I'm going to say maybe they're a fair bit more dangerous in the show. All right, so let's get rid of this image here. And we're gonna carry on with the rest of these images. Next one here is, it looks to be Emond's Field. Same roofs, same houses. This looks like probably the aftermath of the attack on Winter Night. So we know the attack does happen on Winter Night. This looks to be the next morning. We have the smoke everywhere. We have Rand in the foreground leading a horse. He has his father's sword on his hip, so he's already gone through that. And I'm going to guess, this is just a guess, I can't really tell if that's Mr. Roose Bolton or not, Tam Thor laying on the back of Bella there, but I'm going to guess that that's probably who that is, and this is probably the scene where Rand brings his father into the town the next morning, and then, he sees the town's destroyed, finds the wisdom, and that's part of the reason for the spoiler warning. I'm going to talk about these certain scenes that we do recognize. So I'm going to say that, I'm going to go on a limb here, I'm going to say that even the fact that I think Narg might even injure Tam. Just because Narg's in it for sure. Rafe has said that. And this does give us a lot of hope that we're going to see that farm scene, that we're going to see the events play out from the first few chapters of the books, almost like they're in the books. Now, this is really an aftermath of a battle. So in the background on the carts, you see what appear to be Trolloc bodies. You see human bodies scattered about as well, Trollocs on the ground, and there's smoke everywhere. The GQ article did mention smoke machines and the aftermath of the battle, and this is probably the morning that the writer Zach is talking about. I love this shot. I like how bewildered Rand looks. And again, just like Lan said, that sword looks natural on him, even though he's only been wearing it probably for a few hours. All right, next image is this. This is the Amyrlin seat on top of the Amyrlin seat. Now, a couple of people on Twitter have mentioned a few things about this, and one of the things I noticed as well. The first thing, and this I didn't notice, I had to be brought to my attention on Twitter, was look at the columns in the background and some of the imagery in the Amyrlin seat itself. They kind of look like the Seafolk birds that you have at the beginning of the Seafolk chapters for the Windfinders and whatnot in the book series. I like that. I like that idea, and I like the fact that Swan herself has what appears to be Seafolk tattoos on her chest. I'm not entirely sure. We don't know if they're Seafolk tattoos because we haven't really seen them. However, she did grow up in Tyr. It does have a really close relationship with the sea. I would hope that they're probably going to tie that in somehow, and it would be a really nice nod to the fans to show something from the Seafolk there. I think that's really cool. Now, the second thing here, and I couldn't blow it up to the point where it looked nice, so I'm not going to do that, but her ring. If you take a really close look at her ring, every other Aes Sedai ring we've seen in the show so far has had a stone in it, and the stone color is for their Aja, whether it's red, blue, green. We've seen a bunch of different stones. I don't think we've seen white or brown or gray yet. But we've seen definitely in some of the shots a red Aja's ring with a red stone. Moraine's ring has a blue stone. We've seen Priyanka Bose's ring with a green stone. So we know they have a stone in their ring that basically tells us what color their Aja is. And they're kind of dressed that way too. Now the Amyrlin seat is of all Ajas and none. And if you take a look at her ring, if you zoom in on it real close, and again, I blew it up and it just does not look good in the video. You folks can do that on your own if you'd like. It's empty. It's either empty or clear. So it's really hard to see. Like I said, you blow this up, it's not meant to be blown up that big, but there's either no stone or the stone is so clear that it looks like there's no stone. So again, that's another thing of all and none. All different colors of light combined are white or clear, so maybe That's their play on how the Emerald Seed's going to go. She won't actually have an Aja stone in her ring. Very neat either way. I do like this photo. I do like her costume. And a lot of people have complained about the sole of the Emerald Seed around her neck. They think it should be more brightly colored, maybe even wool or cloth. I like this play on it. I like the iridescence of it. I like how it's kind of muted and just there because, I mean, let's face it, the costume is gorgeous. I really like the way it looks. All right, and the last image is of this, and this is the Waygate, the infamous Waygate. A lot of people have complained about this from day one. Some people thought it was a portal stone. Some people thought it was something else. We know it's a Waygate for sure because of the metadata in the photos and the fact that basically they talked about it being a Waygate a bunch of times in different promotional material. Now this is a shot of Moraine taking a look up at the Waygate, and it's a new image to us. However, it's nothing showing really anything new other than the fact that it doesn't appear to be anything inside the Waygate. So there's no door, there's no Aventosora leaf, there's no vines and things like that. It's not really organic and flowy. It's a little bit different than we expect. Now this may be because it plays out just a bit better to walk the horses up inside it. I don't know why they made these decisions for the Waygate. I don't mind it personally. It's a small change in my opinion, but this is another one of those new photos from the GQ article. All right, so like I said before, the article is down below in the description box. Feel free to read it. It's a good article. It's probably the best written one I've seen so far. I'm impressed with it anyway, and I hope you folks are as well. GQ actually had their shit together when they did this one. Pardon the language, but they did. It's a good article. I'm really, really impressed with it. And I hope to see more publications covering the show writing like this. Not pulling stuff from the net, pulling stuff from fan sites, and kind of regurgitating it as fact or... this is what Amazon said. This was someone who was actually there that wrote about it. And I truly do appreciate that much. Now, we're all gearing up for the trailer. The trailer's coming very, very soon. No one knows when. It's less than a month now till the release of the show. Less than a month. Like, that's insane. I've been waiting for this show for 30 years, and I'm sure a lot of you have as well. We're less than 30 days from it now. I can't wait to see it. Like I said, they're releasing the first 3 episodes on November 19th. I'll be doing videos for all 3 of them. So you're going to see a breakdown. You're going to see an Easter egg video. You're probably going to see a explained video for certain things in it that may be confusing to first-time viewers that haven't read the books before. I'm going to do a bunch of videos for each episode. I'll be very busy for quite some time. And I'll still be covering all of the Wheel of Time news about Season 2 and filming, because they are still filming Season 2 right now. They're going to film that right up until the end of February of next year. If there's no shutdowns or any other delays. So there's going to be a ton of content from the channel, so do make sure you subscribe. And if you'd like to support us, we do have a Patreon. The link is down below in the description box. And I know a lot of people have been asking about the What Up shirts. It is a tier on the Patreon. It's the highest tier, so if you're a Daughter Heir, you're going to get a What Up shirt. I have 2 Daughter Heirs right now. I've sent out the shirts to one of them. The other one I'm still waiting on getting their address back to it. However, if you like some cool What Up swag, whether it be a shirt, keychains, magnets, stickers, join the Patreon because I'm going to give you What Up swag, and I will give you access to some of these videos 24 hours early. Not all of them, but some videos I do give access to early. So I want to thank all my patrons for supporting the channel, and if you folks can, I'd appreciate the support as well. All right, thank you so much for sticking with me here to the very end, and here's to many more.